YouTube, I believe. I'm trying something a little different working. And let me put my phone up right there. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm glad to be doing the FaceTime with you this morning. And so this morning we'll be in Romans, and what I want to do is I'm going to start doing the devos on Wednesday morning. I'm also going to be doing them on Thursday mornings for a little while, and I see Bible study class that hopefully can stay right around the 10-minute mark. And again, I'm at my house, and I know many of you have been following us in our renovations of the house. And so I got 5 kids here. So if you hear something, again, we'll be in Romans, and I just kind of want to talk a little bit about Romans and the Apostle Paul this morning. And what a good book that the good Lord's given us. And again, we are streaming right now to Facebook, to the website, and to YouTube. And so I'm trying something a little different. So I'm trying to make sure everything works good. If you can't hear me at any point, please just comment, let me know. And I don't know if I'll be able to correct it right in the moment, but we'll definitely be able to correct it for future use of that. And so again, Romans, I just kind of want to talk context a little bit. You guys know me. I am such a nerd, and I've really become a nerd, and so it's kind of cool. So the Apostle Paul writes the book of Romans to some Christians who are in Rome, as we all know, which is crazy. We're going to read verses 1 through 7 to be there, and because he loves this church so much, and he's really wanting to establish Rome as kind of his base of operations, and so theology. And being that he is very specific on certain tenets of theology, and again, I'm probably jumping way ahead of myself, but let me just jump into Romans. And so he writes this book, and in verse 1 he starts, and just a couple things stood out to me in this passage, specifically in Roman apostle, set apart for the gospel of God, which he promised beforehand through his prophets in the Holy Scriptures concerning his Son, who was descended from David according to the Spirit of holiness by his resurrection from the dead, Jesus Christ, our Lord. And so even just in that part, so this is an introductory truth, which is crazy to think about. And so what I like to think about is that stood out to me. That was the first thing. And Paul's he just has to get away, and he doesn't eat. He's done to the saints, to those who are following God. Because to me, and anybody who knows me and who has been to any of my classes and everything, I've talked about this often, that I think like Paul, after his conversion, really struggled with depression. And because he's realizing now, after his conversion, like, man, I've been tormenting the ones who are actually following the real God. I thought I was doing work for God, but I wasn't. I was the one who was murdering and pulling apart families. And so I find that depression. He's not eating, not drinking. He's probably not sleeping. Depression. He's not eating, not drinking for years and years, because his conversion is 20 to 23 years later. I mean, I've been set apart. He realizes he's been set apart. Paul, I wonder, calls such so topped it beforehand. You set me apart before the foundations of the world. You could have fascinating questions. And what's interesting is that answering all those questions, and we're going to see answers of why God is setting this up. And so he's saying, man, I've been set apart. I've been set apart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he is the son of David, which is also interesting because there's a lot of Jews there at Rome. And so Paul's already saying, let's establish who Christ is. Let's establish that he has ordained me to bring this message to you. And I'll just continue because this is just the introduction, and I'm already getting caught so much on this. And I'm sorry, Miss Rosalie said my voice is coming through good. The picture keeps being a little spotty. I'm sorry about that. I'll try to fix that for next time. Not much I can do now. But let's continue on. And let's actually just jump to verse 8, because I think this is really fascinating as well. First, I thank my God through Jesus Christ for all of you, because your faith is proclaimed in all the world. For God is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in the gospel of his Son, asking that somehow by God's will you, that I may impart to you some spiritual gifts, both yours and mine. I think during our time of pandemic and orders of churches can't meet and we can't be together, and Paul here, in a time that is very hostile towards Christians, he legitimately means it. Like sometimes we say things and we don't really mean it. We're like, man, I can't wait to hang out with you. And we just kind of want to be home and chill and watch TV and do our thing. Paul really means it. He's saying, man, I am longing to be with you again. I'm willing to put it out all on the line. I'm willing to risk my life, because he's talking about going to the place where he's ultimately going to be killed. And I just think that's fascinating, is that his desire to be with the saints. And I've been thinking about this, because our times are so much easier, and yes, they're getting harder, and we don't really understand the importance of actually being with the saints, being with God's people. Even if it's just one day a week, we don't understand that is a very significant moment. And Paul here saying, man, I'm longing to be with you guys. I'm longing to encourage you with some spiritual gifts. And he's like, I mean, that's what the Sunday gathering is all about. That's what the Lord's Day is all about. That's what coming together as saints is all about. Is now we get to be with each other. We get to live life together. We get to benefit from you encouraging me with your spiritual gifts and me encouraging you with my spiritual gifts. And that's what Paul's talking about. Probably as we all planned together. And man, it is just so important for us to be together as God's people. And I'm not just talking about the Gate Church, but I'm talking about all of God's people. And that way we can all build each other up. And the things are extremely hostile and getting more hostile to relent anytime soon. And so how much more us blessing each other in spiritual gifts and the gifts that God's given us. And that's a lot, man, right there in Romans 1 through, 11. I wanted to get through 16. In the Devo again tomorrow, I'm going to continue just to walk us through the book of Romans, a 10-minute Bible study each morning, and just to encourage you to get the word in you, and for us to get the word just all around us, man. And so I love you guys. Man, we need a lot of prayer right now. We need the Spirit of God to blow on us, man. We need Him. We just need God to move amongst His people, and we need His people to actually desire it. And so, anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for listening to me for just a bit. Again, I hope to the Gate website, and hopefully